You know, for years, the thought of filming my hunting adventures just seemed like too daunting a task. You know, if you were like me, there were many reasons that kept you from even trying. Most of the equipment in the early days was either just too expensive or too complicated, or it just couldn't withstand the harsh elements of the outdoors. You know, it really wasn't portable, and it often required that you had a cameraman or someone that accompanied you to help you pack in gear and actually run your camera. Or at least packing in some special mounting, bulky mounting systems and growing a third arm if you were planning on hunting by yourself. Now, the advent of action cameras has really changed all of that. They've designed cameras now that are small enough to fit in your pocket, and they can withstand some harsh conditions, the wet and the snow and the cold. But you know what? The technology really hadn't advanced at that point to give you the quality of footage that you wanted in your hunting video. You ended up with grainy, distant, fish-eyed images. That was the norm. But you know what? Tactacam has changed all of that. Now, Tactacam currently has 3 series of cameras in production. They have the Solo Wi-Fi, the 5.0 series cameras, which includes the 5.0 and the 5.0 wide, as well as the new fisheye that's on the market. But in this video, I'm going to give you a brief overview of the features found in the Tactacam 5.0 series cameras. So stay tuned. Now, Tactacam has really changed the way that I approach self-filming my hunts. Now, these cameras were designed for hunters by some really smart people who also love to hunt. The quality of the video is really unmatched, and the simple one-button push recording makes it easy and ideal to capture that footage when the moment of truth arrives. Now, as I mentioned in my introduction, Tactacam has 3 series of cameras. The Wi-Fi, Solo Wi-Fi, the 5.0 series, which includes the 5.0 wide and the 5.0, and also the new fisheye, the waterproof fisheye camera that's out there. But today I'm going to visit the 5.0 series a little bit more in depth and tell you all about that. But to learn more about the other cameras, or even more about these cameras, visit Tactacam.com. Now, all the Tactacam cameras utilize a cold weather ion rechargeable battery that supports up to 2.5 hours of continuous recording. Storage is done on an SD card, a micro SD card. The 5.0 cameras can take up to 128 gigabyte class 10 micro SD card that's capable of 4K recording. The soft rubber coating on the outside and the locking in cap provides protection that you need from the weather for its internal parts. Now, this thing can survive the rain and the snow, and it can even make it through an accidental drop in some shallow water. Now, the operation is really easy. A single push of the big button on the top starts and stops the recording. The camera will also communicate with you by vibrating. So one push of the button will begin recording. You'll feel it vibrate twice to let you know. If you go into blackout mode, that's how you can tell what you're doing. That's where the lights don't light up. This light, you can see it's lighting up, it's firing up, it's vibrated twice. I know that it's recording, and you can see that everything's lit up. Just to stop recording, it's one button push, and you'll feel it vibrate once, and it goes into a pause mode. To start recording again, simply push the button again. It will vibrate twice and continue to record. The other button on the barrel of the camera is the mode button, and there's 3 modes in the camera, and it comes preset to like a 3x zoom for the 5.0. The 8x zoom is the blue, and then you have a slow motion mode as well. But you can change all of these settings and custom program this button using the Wi-Fi app that Tactacam has for a mobile device. In order to do that, you basically depress this button here and hold it down, and it will activate a hotspot in the camera that you can connect your mobile device to and make all of these adjustments. Now, not only can you do that, but you can also review the footage on your card on your phone. You can change various resolution settings. You can custom program this button, and you can also do some other things like turn on time lapse or the fast motion mode, or image stabilization, or even turn on a red dot that appears in your video image when you're bird hunting or trap shooting, which is really cool for that. Now, as I mentioned, the 5.0 and the 5.0 wide are identical in their operation but different in their lens configuration, which makes it really cool to partner together. The 5.0 offers an up to 8 times zoom, which really brings in the image close and personal. Now, the 5.0 wide gives you a 170 degree angle, wide angle view of your field, but it's also really good to use for when the camera needs to be up close and personal. So like if you're doing your selfie shots, or you're doing something like I'm doing here with this camera right now. But anyway, stay tuned and we'll get into a little bit more of the inner workings of the 5.0 and the 5.0 wide. Now I've shown you how easy it is to operate these cameras in what I call a standalone mode. Now all you need is a Tactacam, a charged battery, the correct micro SD card, and a finger to push this button right here, and it's that easy to start filming your hunts. Now I mentioned in the previous segment about the Tactacam Wi-Fi app. In this segment I'm going to drill down a little bit and show you how to connect your phone to your camera, customize your settings, and review the footage on your phone, all through the Tactacam Wi-Fi app. Now you first need to download the app to your mobile device. The Tactacam app can be found on Tactacam's website, or for iOS devices, go to the App Store, Google Play for the Android devices. Now I use an iPhone, but I've also downloaded the app to my iPod Touch and my iPad, so I have a lot of options when it comes to using the Wi-Fi app with my cameras. Now once the app is installed, you'll need to power up your camera, put it in a pause mode, depress and hold the mode button on your camera to activate the hotspot internally. Next, you'll want to open up your phone to your network settings, search for that network, which will probably say something like Tactacam or Tactacam 5.0, and you'll connect to that network. Launch the app and then connect your camera. Now once you're in the app, you'll be able to see a live preview and use your phone to aim stationary cameras, or even to begin recording using your phone as a remote. But changing and customizing your settings in the Tactacam Wi-Fi app is easy. You'll notice a big colored dot up in the upper right hand corner of the screen, which indicates which mode of operation you're using on your Tactacam. Now next to that big dot, you'll see another icon that has some numbers in it. That indicates the resolution setting for that mode. Now in the Wi-Fi app, you can change the mode settings by clicking that colored dot, and it will give you the 3 color corresponding codes for this mode button, and then you can go into the resolution settings and pick whatever frames per second you want or resolution settings you want for that button to customize that button for you in the field. So maybe you want it different than the default. Now in the upper right hand corner, there's a pencil looking icon with a tablet, pencil and tablet, which is your settings icon. It opens up the settings menu, and in there you'll scroll through the list and you'll see a whole host of things that you can do in there. One is you can turn on your red dot if you're bird hunting, or maybe you want to reduce the wind noise. There's wind noise reduction, image stabilization. There's also the fast motion mode that is in there. But you can do things like change exposure settings and things that are a little bit more complicated. I found that I really don't need to mess with that stuff too much. Now also in that settings menu, you'll see a couple of other items that you probably want to pay attention to. One is updating the firmware. From time to time, Tactacam will make adjustments to the programming, maybe bug fixes or maybe something new that's coming down that they're able to implement into the existing camera without having to buy a whole new camera to get new features. So they will update their programming, and you can update the firmware from the camera just by following the menu options by clicking that while connected to the camera that you want to update. Now the other thing that's really easy is formatting your SD card. The little micro SD card in your camera can be formatted while it's in the camera and connected to the Wi-Fi app. Just simply click that selection in that edit menu and follow the prompts to format your SD card. Working the Wi-Fi app is really easy, and it's used for a lot of different things. You'll be able to use it to to aim stationary cameras, or when we get into mounting options next, we'll talk about the FTS, to align your camera so it lines up your crosshairs properly. The Wi-Fi app is very versatile in that respect, and it's very helpful. The other neat thing is you can also review your footage while in the field connected to that. So maybe you take that shot and you're not quite sure where it went, but you want to review the footage in the field. Now keep in mind, this is a small hotspot. Large files may take some buffering to occur on your phone, but just click that photo icon in the lower right hand corner and it will open up the library on your card. So you can scroll through and find the video that you want to watch or the picture you want to look at, and it will display that on the screen. But that's how easy the Wi-Fi app is. So in this next segment, we're going to talk about the versatile mounting options for the Tactacam 5.0 and 5.0 wide. So stay tuned. By now, I hope you see how easy these cameras are to use. Like I said, they were made for hunters by some really smart people that also love to hunt. They've pretty much thought of everything. And I'm pretty sure that if they haven't, they will over time. Now, I've shown you how easy it is to operate these cameras, and we explored the Tactacam Wi-Fi app and showed you how easy it is to change your settings, review your footage, and update your firmware. The only thing left now is to mount these cameras and get out and start hunting. Now, Tactacam's cylinder design, I feel, makes it a very versatile camera in the way that you can deploy and mount them. The boys at Tactacam have thought of many different innovative mounting options, but they also capitalize on some stuff that you may already have laying around the house from your old action cameras that you aren't using anymore. Now, the mounting options include everything from a stabilizer mount for bow hunters to a universal gun mount that can be easily deployed on a shotgun or a rifle. The cantilever under the scope mount is great for crossbow hunters. Anything with a Picatinny rail system, they have a Picatinny rail mount as well. There's also a universal swivel mount that can easily attach to any old GoPro mount you may have that makes mounting to things like handlebars or tripods or selfie sticks or other apparatus very easy. Now, that same universal mount will also work with Tactacam's head mount system, which is a great addition when you're fishing or bow hunting and want to capture shots when your hands need to be free. Now, however, the long-range shooters out there are saying, now what about me? Well, that's where the Tactacam FTS, Film Through Scope, comes in. The FTS affixes to your scope using one of several adapters that it comes with to help you accommodate to different scope eyepiece diameters. And the same Tactacam that you're using in your bow mount or on your gun mount will slide right into the FTS, and it actually films through your scope. So what you see through your scope is what will appear in your footage. Now, as you can see, there are numerous mounting options that will suit just about every scenario that you can come up with. And I mentioned earlier in this episode that the 5.0 and the 5.0 wide cameras are really great when partnered together. They provide you with different angles of your experience, but if one camera is set up in such a way in a distance where you can't get to it to turn it on with your big fat finger, this is where one of the sweet things about the 5.0 cameras comes in. You have the ability to sync up to 5 cameras to one remote. The remote looks like the camera. It uses the same battery. It's got one button on it. You can hook 5 cameras to this remote, one button push, and you can turn them all on at the same time. It's very easy to do that. Turn them off, one button push. Power them off, hold the button down, just like on the camera. So as you can see, the Tactacam 5.0 and the 5.0 wide cameras make it extremely easy for you to videotape your hunt, to obtain quality 4K resolution recordings, and to share your hunts with your friends and family easily without breaking the bank. So for more information about these cameras and the accessories, make sure that you visit Tactacam.com. Thank you for tuning in to iHunt TV, and we hope that you have a blessed day.